And it is 3 minutes to 7. Oopsie. And give me a minute. I'm going to sign into my Facebook page. And also, I need to adjust one of these lights. I think it might be a little too much, but let me see. I don't know. Maybe I've got it right because it's like right in my face. So give me just a minute. Let me get signed in to make sure. Yep. I am showing that we are live, so that's a good thing. Let me turn my volume down on the phone. Okay, let me go ahead and get the comments opened up. Give me just a second, and we'll get that done. Sorry, I was chewing on a Tic Tac, one of my favorite things. All right, let's see. How is everybody? Welcome. Come on in, have a seat. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. And let me enter that. Okay, we are good. We are recording and we have 0 watchers right now, but that's okay. We will get started here shortly. And let's see, I'm in the camera. That's good. I think we're good. So far, so good. The dog did not want to come in tonight. So Miss Rosie is out watching television with my husband. Hey, Karen, how are you? So Rosie's out watching TV with her daddy. So she will not be joining us this evening. I asked her if she wanted to, and she was laying on the bed earlier, and then she decided nope, she was getting up. So, oh, well, it's okay. So what's been going on with you? Anything fun? I can't believe we got a little bit of a weather. I mean, not compared. Linda Carver lives in the Midwest, and she just got back from walking. She's in Central Time, and she said it was 47 degrees. So I guess I should complain about our 75 or 74 or whatever it is. So I tell you, I don't know about this weather. We're supposed to go out in the boat Thursday, pardon me. And some friends of ours who also have a dog named Chance. And they're supposed to be going with us. So Rosie and Chance will get to meet for the first time. So we'll see how she does again. And then we're going to go to lunch. I think we're going to some food. I don't know if we're going to food trucks somewhere. I think they're going to be at one of the marine. I'm not sure where they are. But anyways, regardless, we're going to go to lunch. So, and Rosie pretty much gets along with most dogs. It shouldn't be a problem. Oh, hang on. I hear her sniffing. Hold on a minute. Let me go grab her. Hold on. You want to come in? You gonna come in and watch? Come on, come on. Are you coming? Nope. Changed your mind? Okay. All right. Bye-bye. I guess she changed her mind. She was sniffing the door when I went to let her in. She's like, no, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna go in the other room. But that's okay. That's all right. Okie dokie. She is a sweetheart. We took her in. All these years I've had dogs, you give them monthly heart guard and for their like heartworms and stuff. And then you give them the other stuff for fleas and tick. And when we gave her the heart guard stuff, it gave her diarrhea and all this other mess. And so Chuck was talking to the vet, one of the ladies that works at the office. She goes, oh, yeah, we have a shot that we can give them. That's an annual shot. And we're like, what? No one's ever, all my entire life, since I've had a dog, my entire life, actually, I never knew that there was a shot you could get. And it's for a year. And it takes care of the heart guard, what heart guard does. So I took her in today and said, and the lady goes, now, she was telling my husband, now some dogs may have an allergic reaction to this. And I thought, oh, great. Ours, has a reaction to whatever. And so I said, do I need to leave her? And she said, no, if she starts to, have diarrhea or throw up or whatever, just get in the car, bring her here, but call us and let us know you're coming and we'll give her some whatever. But she was fine. So it didn't bother her. So now she's good for a year. And we don't have to worry about that, which is, trying to give her pills, which usually crunch them up and put them in her food. But it makes it just so nice to know. Hopefully it's going to work. Oh, my God. A frantic December. I know. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I can't believe we're already at the end of the year. And we're going to start all over again. That means we're going to get another year older. But anyways. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and let me introduce myself, and then we'll get started. We're going to be doing 2 holiday cards, 2 fun fold cards this evening. I don't think you've seen these folds before, but you might have. I don't know. Anyways, I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and as of February in 2026, I will be have been doing this for 15 years. It's unbelievable. So, and I love it. It's fun. I like teaching and sharing everything with people, and I have fun doing it. And it's all about, if you make mistakes, it's okay. It's no big deal. It's all right. People don't know how I can do that, but it's okay. So we are in the midst of December. We just finished up our Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday special. Stampin' Up is running their paper pumpkin subscriptions. And if it's something that you don't participate in, I would highly encourage you to do that. It's a monthly kit that comes out. It's either it comes with everything that you need: the stamp, the ink, the adhesive, the cards, everything that you need to put those cards together. And it also comes with a little block that you can use to put your stamps on. So for those that don't have a lot of storage or don't want to have a lot of supplies, you'll have very minimal stuff left over. Actually, you'll have either the glue as in dimensionals, or glue dots may be left over, probably, because they do give us a lot, and maybe some twine. You'll have a little cube of ink, which they call an ink spot, and your stamp and the block. So that's the only thing you'll have left over. But you can get a 6 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. The 12-month is really the most bang for your buck, because I think you get a $20, $40, $60 discount on that one, and it comes out every month, and they include shipping and all of that. So that's something that you might want to keep in mind. I am working on putting together some a monthly class that you will pay for. It's going to be, I'm not sure if I'm going to start it. I probably won't start it this month. It'll probably flow into December. Maybe I'll start advertising it where you can sign up, and it's going to be one that you will sign up for. You'll pay the fee, and then I will send you card kits that you will get in the mail. And then we're going to do a video the following month that we'll do in a private Facebook page or group, that we can all put together. Some of people call it craft along, some call it get-togethers. I'm not sure. So, but that's something I'm thinking about. So keep your ears out and eyes open, because I will be coming out with that information here in the next probably week or so. So, hey, Linda, I'm glad you got in from the cold weather. So anyways, all right, let's go ahead and let's get started. I don't think it's going to take, I always say, I don't think it's going to take that long, but it normally does. Let me get back. Somehow I got out of my Facebook page. There we go. Okay. All right. So I am, well, I forgot to welcome. If you're new here to my channel, welcome. I apologize. If you're watching on Facebook and you like what you're seeing, please like and share. I greatly appreciate it. That helps me with the algorithms to reach out to more people. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and then click the bell that will notify you every time I upload a new video. So, all right, with that being said, we're going to flip the camera down, and we're going to get started on these fun fold cards. All right, so give me just a second, because I'm going to have to get the camera fixed so I can show everything on here. Make sure we are in the light, which looks like we're in the dark. So give me, no, wait a minute, hang on. Let me bring this up just a little bit. Hang on, you guys. I apologize, but we're going to get this straight. I'm going to get it like that. But I don't want to have to, there we go. How's the lighting looks fine. Let me bring this over a bit. Hold on. This is the part that I don't like. All right, I think that's good. And it looks like y'all can see the, it's pretty good lighting, I assume. All right, so this is an old stamp set. I told you, I've mentioned this to you all before. I keep ones that have some really good sayings, and this is Christmas to Remember. And honestly, I don't even remember when this one came out, but I use this one a lot. So we're going to be using this for this, for the cards this evening. Use whatever you have. And if you're not doing holiday cards, you can use whatever sentiment. These can be used for any kind of card that you're going to do for any reason. All right. So we don't need that at the moment. I'm going to put that, actually, I'm going to throw it over here. Okay, so here's what we're going to make. We're going to do this one first. This is such a fun fold card, and this goes flat in the mail. Can you see that? Okay, I forget there's a 20-second delay. I don't see it on my in my page. There we go. All right. And then so this one is really easy, and it folds down flat, and then on the back we have our place to write our message, and then we've put some paper that coordinates with the front. And then it will stand up. So the whole idea, and you're not going to be able to see this, but we're going to stand it up like that. So that way the person that you're sending it to can set it onto their shelf. I don't know if that's going to show this way or not. I'm not sure how. Can y'all see that? No, you can't. Anyways, it's going to stand up. So that's something nice they can put on the shelf. And then this is using the same paper. And all we're going to do is these are going to be cut 3 from the same piece of paper, and I just flipped them over. So you can decide how you want to do that with your pattern paper, as long as it's 2-sided. So I took this one and then put the opposite sides here. Obviously I cut them wrong, but I don't think it matters. And then this is where the 2 orange ones are with the leaves in the center. And I thought that was really cute. And then it will fold flat just like that. It does go into an envelope. Okay. So that's what we're going to be making this evening. That's going to be our first card. So let me pull in. I'm going to move these out of the way for the moment. We're going to pull in our card base, and I'm going to give you all of the instructions. We are going to do some scoring, and I'll give you all of the measurements. And with the class that I was talking about, in addition to getting the card kits, you'll get a PDF tutorial. You'll get everything that you need to put those cards together. So again, I'll get some information out, hopefully by the weekend, if at the latest. I've had 2 people order, both want 20 Christmas cards. Well, one person wants 20 Christmas cards. Somebody else wants 20 birthday cards between male and female. So that's a good thing. So I'm in the process of making Christmas cards. I have a lot of the birthday cards I got to make. So, okay. So for this here, this is the card. I'm going to put it right here for now. You're going to need a base that is 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to use Old Olive. And then we need to score this at 1, 2, I'm sorry, scratch. That's the other one, not that one. This one, we got to score 2 inches and 3 inches on each side. And I'll show you how to do that so that this will fold flat, okay, to make sure it does follow. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do our scoring. So we want to score 2 inches, and then we want to score 3 inches. And we're obviously going to do that on the long side. Now, we're not going to score in the middle, okay? So we're just going to do the 5.5 by 8.5. And we're going to bring this in to 2 inches, and we're going to score at 2. Let me make sure I get my cutting blade out of the way. So we're going to score at 2 inches, and then we're going to move it down and score at 3 inches, and make sure that you get it lined up from the top and bottom of your scoring board. Okay. Now, the easiest thing to do is to flip it around. And the reason I say that, it's going to help with it when it comes to folding. So you're just going to do the same thing again on the other end. So we're going to do our 2-inch score, and then we're going to move it down to 3 inches. And we're going to make sure we got it lined up at the top and the bottom. And I'm shifting it over just a little bit. And then we've got that. Okay. All right. So there is that. You know what? I think I pulled the wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. All right. I did this one as a holiday one. I forgot. Okay. So let me move this out of the way. Let's put that right here because we're going to probably use that again. All right. So we have our scores. And then what we're going to do is we're going to score these. I'm sorry. We're going to fold these. This one we're going to, right now we just want to get them folded and burnished, right? So we're going to fold that one. And then this one we're going to fold. Actually, this one's going to go down. This one's going to fold this way. So we might as well fold it the right way. And then this one's going to fold up and make a flap, right? So that's going to be the one side of our card. Okay. And then we're going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other one. So this one, again, this is the 3-inch side. So we're going to burnish that one. And then this is our wing. So we're going to pull that one up and we're going to burnish that as well. So there is the card base. Now you'll see it will lay flat once you get ready to put it in your envelope, okay? All right, then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to cut 3 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 pieces of designer paper. So you'll have one go here, and then the other two I'm going to flip over, and they're going to go just like that. Okay. See how easy this is going to be. All right. So I like this paper, and then of course the green coordinates with it. I was trying to find something to coordinate. So again, very easy card. So we're going to go ahead and lay this down on our front of the card, and make sure if it's directional that you get your paper cut so that your direction is going in the right direction, right? So this one I cut intentionally so I'd have that bow at the top and one at the bottom. So I'm just going to lay this right on the center because this is going to be the main piece that I want to be seen. So we're going to lay that right there. Again, this is a really easy card, as you can see. Not that hard to do. I hate to cover up this part of the paper, but we're going to flip it over because we're going to have the other side show through. All right, so we're going to put some adhesive on that. And then this we're just going to lay down right in here. And again, this is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and that's for all 3 pieces. All right, so we got that one there. And then we're going to do this one. See, this one's not going to take hardly any time at all. The other one is going to be a little bit more difficult. It's not difficult. The other one, I shouldn't say that. Anyways, all right, so this one is going to go on this side. So we're just going to lay that down. And we're going to place that right about there and get it somewhat situated in between. So there's our card. So see how easy that is? All right, and then keep in mind when we go to mail it, it's going to go flat. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the piece of paper, and I'm going to put this on the bottom. This is 3/4 of an inch by 4. Let me see. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch by 4. And I've got it because I want the flowers to be seen. So I'm going to place that right here. Let me get this up here in the camera. And I put my vellum down. So try to keep the lights reflecting off the table. I think I've got one right there, but I don't think y'all can see it. All right, so that's that. Now I always cut mine a little bit longer just to be on the safe side. So I know I've got enough room. So I'll go ahead and trim that off, and we'll put that in our trash can. All right, so there's that. Now, the next thing that we need to do is, you know what? Hang on a minute. I just realized, where's my, all right, hang on. I know I brought a piece of paper out for my sentiment. What did I do with it? I brought the punch. I'm going to have to run and get a piece of paper. Can you believe that? Actually, hang on. Let me make sure it's not over here somewhere. Hold on a minute. Nope. I'm going to have to run and get a piece of paper. I thought I was really prepared. I had everything in here. I have the punch. Okay. This is going to go on the back of the card. Let me go get a scrap piece of paper. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I might have one here. Nope. Never mind. I've got one right here. I'm good. I don't have to leave. All right. So now this is where it's going to get a little tricky. When we glue this down, okay, we do not want to glue. We only want to put glue on one side, right? So we want to hold it down just like you're going to do the back of your card, and you want to try to get it as even as you can. So you can either put the glue on the back of your white cardstock, or if you want to take and put it on here, you can do that as well. I'm just going to do it right here because I'm going to come down a little bit, and I'll just come down like this because I know that my cardstock probably won't go any wider than that. I think we'll be good, hopefully. All right, so I'm going to hold this down. And we're going to lay this on here, and hopefully we can get it. We're going to push it down and make sure it's the way it's supposed to go. And I'm going to move it up some. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. So we're just going to move this up, and I want to try to get it so it's even on both sides, on both ends. But if it's not, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so that's how we go. And then you can write your message on that. So see how it closes? It's going to open like that, and then it closes. All right. So you can write your message first before you glue it down. That's probably going to be the easiest way. But if not, it's fine. You can lay it flat and then you can just write your message right there. Okay. So there we go. There's that. Now we have to do our sentiment. So that is our fun fold card. Now this one, I'm using the May This Be a Christmas to Remember, and we're going to stamp this in Old Olive, and we're going to use a 2 1/4 inch punch. And then we'll pop that up on dimensionals. You can lay it flat if you're worried about the thickness. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but let's pop it up on dimensional. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right there. And if you're just joining, as I mentioned before, this is a retired stamp set that's probably been retired for several years. All right, so there's that. And then let me clean this off real quick. Hey, Jane, how are you? Oh, snowy Wisconsin. Well, we thought it was cold here. It's like 70, 72. So that's not cold to you guys. I know. It's crazy. I'm going to adjust it. Hang on a second. Let me make sure I've got this good picture for y'all. Okay. I might need to pull that back. Just a minute. I should have messed with this thing. It was probably good. There we go. All right. So we're going to punch this out with a 2 1/4. It might be, I think that should be big enough for this, this sentiment. So let's go ahead and punch this out. Hopefully I've got enough room in there. I think that's good because I'm going to put some embellishments at the bottom. So that's going to be fine. So we're going to cut that out and set this off to the side. My punches, I tell you what, they're, I just sharpened some the other day. You know how to sharpen punches, right? You use tin foil and just open and shut it on some tin foil, and that helps to loosen up and tighten and sharpen up your blades, in case you didn't know that. All right, and then we could have put another piece below, behind this, a piece of cardstock, but I chose not to do that. So, but that's, if you want to, you can. I just thought I'd leave the white by itself. And see, now I got to figure out which flowers do I want to cover up. That's the bad thing about, I guess I'll do it in the middle because it kind of takes over that bow, but it still shows both of the flowers. So I think I'm going to do it like that. And I'm debating, because if I lay this flat, I think I really do want to pop it up on dimensional. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll add some of these traditional sparkly sequins. Are they called sequins? Yeah, sparkly sequins embellishments. I'm going to put 3 on here. Well, actually, yeah, that'll fit. All right, so we're going to put 3 on here. So I'll go back over for those that have just joined us. The measurements, you're going to take a 5 1/2. Oops, hang on. Let me make sure I get my, let's do it a little bit like that. We're going to do 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. Okay. And then you want to score 2 inches and 3 inches on each end. So it's easier to do 2 inches and then 3 and then flip it because it makes the card fold a lot easier and flatter to get in with it being more even on the sides than if you move it over and score further. Don't ask me why, but that's just how it seems to work. And then the strips are 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I used the same designer paper and just flipped it over for here. And then on the back is our typical 4 by 5 1/4. And you're only going to glue one side so that way it can open, and then it actually will stand up. See how it stands? So we'll put it right here. Yeah, you can't see it that way. So see how it stands up? So somebody can put it on their fireplace mantle or whatever. All right, and then we're going to add a few of these little these gems here, these embellishments, because I think they're cute. So I know this is cherry cobbler, but it's still red, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So I'm going to put a red one, and then I'm going to put these little green ones next to it since we have green. I thought that would be pretty. So I'm just going to add these on each side just to give it a little sparkle. All right, so that's that card. Now, what do you think about that? Isn't that cute? And it's so easy. You can whip those things out. You can whip these out in no time. So it's a really easy card. Just make sure you do the scoring one end at a time, one side at a time, and then flip your paper around and do it on the other way. It makes it a lot easier for it to be manageable. Okay, so that's that one. So let's move this one off to the side. Give me just a second here. We're gonna put that right there. So in case y'all come back, let's go put that over here. Okay, now the next one that we're gonna be making, let me move this up here out of the way. It's hard when you have a small desk that you're working on. Okay, this one is, this is a really cute fun folder. Now we're gonna be using cherry cobbler on this one. Now the one that I initially made, I was using up some other papers, trying to use up my paper. And it's this one, again, this one folds flat as well. I got this from Rhonda Wade. So if you fold it, once you fold it down, this will go on the envelope as well. And I'll go through and show you how all of this works, okay? So, and I'll give you the dimensions, but isn't that cute? And then this one is the same. It stands up, and then you put your sentiment piece on the back as well. And there you go. It will stand up by itself. Okay. And I'm not sure. I call this a tunnel card because it's got the tunnel. I don't know what it's called, to be honest with you, but it really is pretty easy to do. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set that one off to the side. Now I am using some retired ribbon too, in case you're wondering. You'll see that. So let me pull out my pieces. And this one, we're going to decorate our envelope. So don't let me forget that. To do that one. And all right, and I'll give you all the pieces on this one. Now this one, we do need to do some scoring. So let me bring in the paper trimmer that I put on the floor. Hang on a minute. Okay, so this piece of cardstock is 5.5 by 8 1/4. So that's the difference, 5.5 by 8 1/4. And we're gonna score 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So 5.5 by 8 1/4. And let's make sure this is 8 1/4. I'm pretty sure I cut it, but before I start scoring, I don't want to mess things up. 8, yep. So it's 8 1/4. All right. We'll put our arm back down. Okay. So this is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to score it 1. Make sure it's lined up at top and bottom so they're even. And we're going to press that down. So there's 1 inch, and we're going to slide it down to 2. Make sure that's on the line. And then we're going to slide it down to 3. And I'm covering right up to the 3 mark. And then we're going to go down to 4. All right. Okay. And that's all we're going to do with this one. So we got that. And then we're going to fold those pieces. You're going to also, well, I'll go through this one first. All right, so we're going to fold all of these on the score lines, and we're going to give them some good varnish. So let's do that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so we'll just fold these in. Make sure your sides are even. And again, this is cherry cobbler. Okay, so that's how it's going to go, just like that. All right, for now. Okay, so you get the gist of it, right? So what's going to happen is this is going to roll over, and it's going to go just like that. Okay. All right. Then we're going to take, and we need to have 3 strips of designer paper, and these are 3 1/4. No, that's not right. Yeah, it is. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I don't know how to write down. It's not 3 1/4. It's 3/4. It's 3/4 of an inch. I was thinking that doesn't make sense. All right, 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. Now we don't want to put one here on the first curve, okay? Because that's going to fold in. It's going to be tucked under and glued, so you're not going to see it. So we want to place them on each of 2, 3, and 4. Now I am using the background. So I'm going to do the green on here. So we're going to go ahead and glue these down. And this is the other side of the paper. And you're going to see that because we're going to use this on part of this card as well. But isn't this some pretty paper? I've got so many holiday cards finished because I made so many for the craft fair that I have placed them in my Etsy store. So not that y'all aren't card makers, but if you know someone looking to buy cards, you can go to my Etsy store. It's under Shall We Stamp under Etsy. And then we're going to put these in 2, 3, and 4 sections here. But I still have a table full of holiday cards. And my girlfriend just called and said, I need 20 holiday cards. And I said, okay. So I'm putting those in the mail to her tomorrow. She said, I don't care. Just send me whatever you've got. She goes, I know what you make, so it's fine. And I know her taste, so I think it'll be fine. All right. So again, these are 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. And we're just going to put the green up here because we want it to, and you want to try to line these up as much as possible to make sure that they're even. All right. If you're that much, particular. I'm not quite as bad, and this one's a little short, so let's move him up. All right, so there's that. All right, then we're going to take a piece of the same color cardstock, and this is cut at 4 by 4.5. And we are going to score this at, hang on, I got to get my scoring board back out again. We're going to score this at 1/2 inch and 1.5. So we're going to do that on the 4.5 inch side. So we've got 4.5 there, and then this is 4. So we're going to score 1/2 inch. So I'm going to move over to the right, and I've got, this goes up to 1.5 inches. So I'm going to move it. It's easier for me to hold the paper. If I move this over to the 1/2 inch mark and go ahead and score that at 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to slide that down and do 1.5. So I'm going to turn it because I want to do 1.5 inches. All right. So we're going to put that right there on the 1.5 inch mark. Whoopsie. Let me get it back up there. 1.5. All right. So that's what we need for the next card. And I know you can't see that. And I'm going to fold that in just a second. Okay. Now, before we get to this, let's finish this part here. You're going to need a, this is going to go over here. We're going to do you need another piece for the inside. So once we roll this up, then we're going to have this piece right here. We're going to adhere that right here in just a minute. Okay. So I use gold since it's got the gold in there. So this is cut at, let me look. I'm looking at hang on a minute. Which one is this one? 3 3/3. Hang on. This is 2 7/8. 2 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then this one is 2 3/4 by 5. Okay, so 2 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I'm going to glue those right on top of each other, just like that. So we're going to glue that down now, and then we'll go back to the next piece. So this one we can go ahead and glue this on here, and then we're going to add this to the inside of our card before we roll everything up and glue it down. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and attach this to our piece of gold foil paper. We're going to lay that down. I thought that would be really pretty. Now I've got to decide which is, give me 1 second because, whoopsie, got to be careful with this. I don't know which is, can you tell which is up? I think I'm going to go like this. I think this probably looks better. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here first. So I'm going to put this over here on the side. So I'm going to glue it right down with just a small amount of that border. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get this adhered, and I'm going to put some glue on the inside as well. So I'm just going to lay this down, and I know it's kind of dark paper, and I apologize for that. We're going to lay that down right about there. Actually, we can move it up a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. We've got a little bit of a trim here. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to put adhesive on this, and we're going to roll this over so it's going to fold. And then once we adhere it, it's going to roll up like that. So we're going to put this, we're going to put adhesive here. We're going to tuck this and roll it. So basically what you want to do is you want to get this over here, and we're going to fold it in. And as we fold it, it's going to make itself, we're going to make it turn into a, to the square. Okay. See how that goes? And then we're going to fold it back like that. Okay. So you're just going to play with it. Now you can lay it down flat. That should probably hold it, and then we'd fold it up. So that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and add some adhesive here, and then we're going to fold it flat like that, and then it's going to fold up. Okay. So we'll put some adhesive right here. Let's go ahead and use our, and you can use seal if that's easier. I'm going to go ahead and just do the Tombow. Probably should use seal, but I think it'll be fine. All right, so we're going to take this, and now we're going to fold it over like that. Okay, let's let it sit for just a second, and then we're going to pop it up so it lays in the right spot, and we're just going to move it over. Okay, and you can fold it back this way if you need to as well. All right, so we've got that in there, and if you're not sure, you can just take your bone folder and stick it in there and give it a good push to just make sure it adheres, but you can lay it flat, and that does the same thing. Okay, so far so good. That's pretty easy, right? Okay, now we're going to take this piece, and this is the 4 by 4.5, and I scored it at 1/2 inch. So we're going to fold that down, and then we scored it at 1.5 inches. Okay, so what we're going to do, and let me get my bone folder, and then you're going to cut a piece of designer paper. Let me get that. Okay, and the designer paper is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And so that's going to go. Now, the part that's going to fold, you want to have that on the right-hand side. Okay. So it's going to go like this once we get it done. So this, if your paper has a pattern, then you want to make sure you've got the 2 3/4 going sideways with the longer length going down. Okay. And I think that looks good as far as my flowers. Let me flip it around and see. I don't think it really makes that much difference. Do y'all? Let me look at this and see. What do y'all think? Yeah, that does make a quick card. Let's see. I think I like this one. I think I like the pink. I was trying to find some pink paper that would match, but they don't have this pink listed in the paper for this. This is the Traditions of Christmas. That pink is not listed. So I'm thinking that it's maybe a light. I don't know what they did. All right. So we're going to glue this down on this piece right here. Okay. So let's get that glued down. All right. So we're going to place it on this side because that part there is going to fold. So I'm going to move it over to where I have the same, like the border on the left side. I'm not going to be too concerned because you're not going to see much of that. Okay. All right. So what this is going to do, once we get this down here right, we're going to glue it down. And when it folds, there's another one that's going to fold right flat to the flat. So it goes into the envelope. So what we want to do is we want to take this little strip right here, and we're going to have that adhere right to the edge of the paper, because we want this, when it folds up, that's going to be down holding this here. And then we want that to fold up because this is going to get glued down right here. Does that make sense? So actually it's going to go like this because we're going to have this. This is going to go up against, no, hang on a minute. That's not right. Hold on. Let me think about this. I got to think. Hang on a minute. Oh yeah. The card folded in. Sorry. We're still only putting the glue on the 1/2 inch. Okay. This part, the glue is going to be here on that 1/2 inch. We're going to lay this here right on the edge of the card. And then when we lay it flat, it's going to come up. So we're going to lay it flat like this. And we're going to tuck this piece under, and it should fold up like that. So what I'm going to do, because now I'm getting myself confused. Go figure that one. All right, we're going to lay this down. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put my glue on this end right here. So that's going to bring this up, and then we'll glue it down. I think that's going to be probably the easiest thing to do. So let's put some adhesive right on this 1/2 inch. All we're going to do right here on the 1/2, because we want this one to lift up, because that's going to be kind of like our kickstand, if you will. All right, so let's do that. All right, so we're going to lay this down. I'm going to turn this sideways just now. Now let me do it this way. All right, I'm going to try to get it as centered as I can. You can place it wherever you want, but I want to get it somewhat centered, and I'm going to butt it right up to the edge of the card. All right, so we're going to hold that down for just a second. All right, make sure that gets adhered. All right, then we're going to pull this up, and then we're going to just glue it. And you can see if you want to get it squared, it's going to go about halfway. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the inside, right on this edge here. Okay, that's all we're going to do. And then we're going to push this over, and we're going to place that right about there. And that's about halfway, and this looks like it's pretty squared. So I'm going to hold this down for just a minute. Now we can flatten it out, but I'm just going to hold it. Make sure it adheres. There we go. So we'll push it like that. All right. How's that? And then when you get ready to mail it, you're going to fold it this way, and it's going to go flat into your mail, into your envelope. So there you go. Isn't that cute? And then it's like that. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add our piece to the bottom. We've got a little strip of 3/4 of an inch. And this one, I cut this one down to, this is 3.5, your basic white for your message, 3.5 by 5. Just because the back, I just did a little shorter so you have enough room back there. All right, so we're going to lay this on here and put that right here. Y'all can see. Let me get up here on the camera. Ooh, these lights are hot tonight. I'm going to take my slippers off. I think that's not helping any. So, do y'all do that? Yeah. Well, you wear slippers and then start getting hot. Maybe it's just because hot flashes. Who knows? All right. So there's our piece that we're going to put on the back. Now you can make it a little bit bigger if you want, but I just chose to make it a little smaller. Obviously, you know, this is 4 1/4. So, uh-oh, my battery's running low on my computer. Hold on. Hang on. I got to get this thing plugged in. I'm getting a new computer I ordered on Black Friday. That's the other thing I did. Okay. Whew. I had to make sure we're charged because it won't keep a charge. And I've had it like, it's probably still good. I think I've had it 4 years, 4, maybe 5 years. And I'm just over it. It just keeps, I don't know. It just keeps doing some weird stuff. So anyways, good thing I caught that, because that would have cut us off and we wouldn't have been able to finish our video. So, okay. So 3.5 by 5 is what I cut. You can do it a little bit bigger if you want. And again, I would probably encourage you to write your message on the back before you put this on there, but not a big deal. You can still lay it down flat. Okay. All right. So, and you can just take a bone folder if you want and push it down. It's no big deal. All right. So there's that card. Now we're going to do a sentiment. And I'm going to stamp, I'm using Merry Christmas from that retired set, and I'm going to stamp it in cherry cobbler, but I'm going to cut it in half because it's too big for this. And then we're going to add some ribbon as well. So let's go ahead. This is just another trick that you can do. So if you've got a long stamp, this one says Season's Greetings, pardon me. So I'm going to stamp it on here. All right. Ooh, that's dark. I added more ink to this because I thought my cherry cobbler was getting a little dried out there. This is an old, this is probably one of the originals. This is one of the original ink pads that I bought 15 years ago. And I still use them. I mean, if they're still working good, I don't buy new ones. I just use these up and just to get refills. So there you go. Just something to keep in mind. All right. So now I'm just going to cut that apart, and then we're going to adhere that to the front of our card. I'm going to clean off my stamp while I'm talking to you. And then we're going to decorate our envelope so it will be a nice, pretty card. Oh, I should have brought to you and showed you. I I might have to run out and grab it. Let me show you if y'all, we've got time, right? Let me see what time it is. Oh yeah, we got lots of time. I'm going to show you a new stamp set that's coming out in the catalog that I bought, especially if you do a lot of mailing cards. All right. I am going to, first of all, I'm going to just cut this. I'm going to cut it in half. And because obviously that's too big, right? So I'm going to just cut this right here. And I'm debating, I think it's because the greeting is small. I think I'm just going to cut it. Probably should have used, let's do this. Let's cut this a little bit at an angle since it's not straight. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. Hopefully I can get it straight. And cut this a little bit. If it's not straight, we'll fix it. All right, that way you can't tell if it's going to be off or not. You know, I'm wondering if I should use the, do you think I should use the old olive instead of, what do y'all think? The old olive or the cherry cobbler? I'm kind of thinking maybe the old olive is what I'm thinking. So let me stamp it again in old olive. Hang on a second. And let's decide, because I think that's a little too dark. Let me stamp this real quick. I got another scrap here. And then I'm going to get up and go, when we get done, I'm going to run and get that new stamp set. I want to show you guys because I love it. I used it. I send out so many birthday cards every month. And you're going to love that stamp set. Oh, I think that's going to look much better. Actually, yeah. Let me just ink this again because I missed a spot. I'm going to do it in the old olive. If I can, hopefully I can cut that piece off. Yep. I think that's going to look better. Yeah, I think definitely that's going to look a lot better. I think the cherry cobbler is a little too dark. So executive decision, that's solved. Takes care of that problem. Let me run. I'm going to run and get that. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Stay here and then we'll finish up the card. Hang on. Don't go nowhere. Okay, I'm back. Don't go nowhere. All right. Okay, let's finish this up and then I'll show you the stamp set. Okay, thank you everybody for accommodating me. And actually, let me cut this with a paper trimmer so I can get it straight. So give me 1 minute. I've got just a mess over here. Too much stuff on this little table. I missed my other room. All right, so we're going to cut this down. Let's cut it in half first, and then we'll trim it. So let's trim this one up. This way I can cut it, be straight without me having to try to cut it and it gets all funkadelic, you know. So let me just trim it real quick. And I think I'm just going to leave it straight. Just try to get it cut straight so it doesn't look so goofy. And we'll just do a little trim right here. I was trying to find a stamp set that I could put a circle underneath it, and then I wanted to do a triangle, and I couldn't find any sentiments. They were either too small or they looked funny, so that didn't work. Let me just adjust the seasons right here because we're going to put these on the front, and I'm doing them smaller so that. Let's see, let's cut this end here. All right, thank you guys for accommodating me. I appreciate that. Okay, let's get this card done. And then slide this old guy off. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Here we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to put some dimensionals on these. I thought we might as well pop them up. I'm going to use the smaller ones. All right, let me make sure my computer's charging. Yes, it is. I just want to, I want to make sure. Oh, you know what? I just realized I stamped, and I've got a little piece right here. So I made a note. Wait a minute. Is this the one? No, it's this one. Did I do that? Yeah, I've got it. Okay. I'm talking to myself. Sorry. All right, let's go ahead. Do y'all do that? Do you talk to yourselves? My husband gets so, sometimes he gets irritated. I don't want to say irritated. He goes, I don't know if you're talking to me or the dog. And I told him from now on, just listen. I think I wanted that one, but I cut it different, but that's okay. So we're going to put, we're just going to put one of these. I'm just using the edges of my, did I just pull up the wrong one? I don't think I did I? I don't think so. Okay. Let me just put a small piece right here. So always use the edges of your dimensionals. You don't want to throw those away. And I think we'll go with, yeah, that one. We're going to put this one on this side. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to add some ribbon. This is an old retired cherry cobbler with gold. So I thought that would look really pretty. So I'm just going to make a loopy bow. And then we're going to attach it on here using some seal. And then we'll add our sentiment, and then we'll be done. And I'm going to show you this new stamp set that's coming out that I do greeting birthday cards every month. So if you want to be on my birthday list and get a card, just leave me a message or message me with your month and day and your mailing address, and I will add you to the list. And actually, I don't think I pulled that list out. I've got 3 lists. I need to learn how to combine them. All right, so let me trim this off real quick. We'll cut that so I can get the ribbon out of the way. All right, and then anyways, so with that many, I send out a lot of birthday cards. So, and then when I saw this new stamp set, I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So whoever came up with that one was thinking very smart. I don't know, why is my bow wanting to do weird things here? Hang on. All right, let's trim. I got my ribbon scissors here, so let me just trim up some tails. I'll trim this one right here. This one's looking a little weird. His bow is not bowing. It's probably, you know, obviously it's the operator, but that's all right. Okay, we're going to put some seal. I'm going to put him in this corner right up here. Get the seal going. So I'm going to just put some right there so he can stick to that. You can use glue dots if you want. And I am going to place this right here. All right, so we're going to do that. And play with your bows however you want to do it. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to put the sentiment underneath of this. And I'm just going to place it kind of angled. And I've got these popped up on dimensionals. Whoopsie. Season's greetings. And let's do that. Okay. And there you go. There's that card, right? So isn't that cute? And then when we get ready to mail it, we're just going to lay it flat and put it in our envelope. So let's go ahead. And I'm sure you all have seen this before, but I always want to make sure that I show you. We're going to take an envelope, and I just cut a piece that's 2.5 inches. And we're going to decorate the out. We're just going to do the flap. And then I'm going to show you this other stamp set that's coming out in the new catalog. And speaking of catalogs, if you're not working with a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, leave me a message, catalog, and you're going to need your address because I've got my box in. So I'm going to start getting them together to get shipped out. So if you want a catalog, leave me a message with your information. Okay. All right. So keep in mind, if you got a directional paper, your flap is going to go down, right? So I'm going to put this little pretty piece on here, and I'm going to try to save some. So I'm going to line this up. I put my seal, and I'm going to line this right above the fold of the envelope, and I'm just going to hold it down like that. And then we're just going to follow the envelope. So I'm going to come around, get a little closer. And this is a nice way to use up your designer paper too, because you know how sometimes we don't want to use it because it's too pretty, right? So this is a great way to use up your paper and you don't have all of that stuff sitting around. We buy it, we might as well use it. And why not decorate your cards when you send them out? And then that's all you have to do. And there you go. We've got our envelope to match our card. And then here is our card. And if we fold it, it's going to go right inside this card. Now, it might be a little bit bulky, but you're going to push it down and go in there. All right, so there's that. Isn't that cute? We'll fold this flat. And then let me pull in the other one. Here's the other one that we made. Isn't that cute? For those that might have just got, whoops, let me get this in the camera for you. All right, now let me show you, and then I'm going to bring these back in the camera because I got to show you these envelopes that I did. All right, so here's this new stamp set we're coming out with in the new catalog. So if you don't have the catalog, then you need to let me know if you're not working with a demonstrator, and I'll send one to you. Addressed to you. You've got lines. You've got this little loop-de-doopy stamp circle thing here. You've got this line thing here. There's 13 stamps. You got Christmas, birthday, happy team, not sure. And then balloons, some trees, snowflakes, and flowers, okay? Isn't this cute? And this is the new packaging, which is kind of, I understand what they're doing, but, you know, it's kind of a, in my opinion, it's a waste because it's too big, but whatever. So what I've done was I inked up all the stamps as it was on here before I lifted it off. So I could kind of put it back together, which I didn't do. But anyways, and then this will go back in here. But let me show you the envelopes that I've done. And I've got a couple of samples. I'll show you what I've done. So here's one I did for one of the neighbors. And I just stamped the trees because it's a guy. So I wanted it to be a little bit more masculine. And then this is for one of the other ladies that lives in the building. So I did the flowers, and I used my watercolor pencils because I didn't want to use blends because that was going to blend through. And these go, we have internal mailboxes, so I don't need to mail these. But look at this one. Let me cover up the person's name. Hang on a minute. How am I going to do this? Well, I'll just put my hands over it. Okay, so, well, maybe I should just cover up the address. Anyways, let me cover up. So look at that. Isn't that cute with the balloons? Is that not precious? I don't think Maddie will mind. And then I got my happy birthday thing and my address thing on the back. But isn't that cute? So keep in mind when the catalog goes live, y'all need to look at getting some of the, get the stamp set if you send a lot of letters out. But you got all sorts of ways you can do it. This is the one way. And then this one, I did the lines right here. And then I stamped the circle, the half circle or 3/4 of a circle. It's an oval. And then you just attach those to down here. And then I colored in the flowers or the balloons. But isn't that cute? So I thought I'd share that with you all. So anyways, I thought that was cute. So here's our cards that we made again. All right, so this is, both of these are fun folding cards. So this is going to go down here. Now we can put some dimension. Let's put some little, I'm not going to put a lot of bling on that. I think I'm just going to put, and you know, I don't think I'm going to put anything. We could put some gold. Let's put a little bit of gold and then I'll hang up. Well, then I'll stop talking and y'all can, let's put some gold. We'll put one gold there. We'll put a, one up there and let's do a little green. It's a different color green, but it's all right. It'll be fine because the red's going to be different. How's that? Okay, there we go. All right, so there's our cards that we did. Coordinating envelope, lays flat. So just make sure when you do this, you want to make sure that you get it laid flat. So this could have come back just a little bit more, but that's fine. It's not going to, I think it'll go in the box. And then this one as well, lays flat. So there you go. There are cards. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. I know I do. I love it. I hope the post office doesn't have a problem with that, but I don't know if they ask permission or not. So anyways, all right, everybody. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you spending your Tuesday evening with me. And I think we are done. And actually, we're 4 minutes ahead of time. So that's perfect. All right, everybody. Have a great week. I believe I'm doing I think we have our Fundamental Friday. Let me just double check. I believe that's this Friday coming up. I don't think. Oh, no, we do not, because I have my Shell Point class. So I have my Shell Point class. So Fundamental Friday is next Friday. So, all right, everybody, have a great evening and a great week, and I will see you next week. If you need anything, please reach out and let me know. If you'd like a catalog, respond with catalog, and I'll be more than happy to get one put in the mail. I'll be working on those this week as well. All right, everybody, thanks again for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great week, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye now.